A night journey on the road can often be fraught with danger, as evidenced by a recent incident in Niger State. A fuel tanker collided head-on with another truck in the Agay area of north-central Niger State, resulting in a devastating explosion. Reports indicate that the truck was also carrying cattle at the time of the accident. As a result of this, the Corps Marshal, Federal Road Safety Corps FRSC, Shehu Mohammed, has called on stakeholders and the motoring public to join FRSC in cautioning their subjects against night travels. The Corps Marshal was reacting to the reports of a fatal road mishap that occurred at kilometer 02, Koreagi village, Agay Lakai Bida route in Niger State. He said the accident was as a result of a speed violation, which eventually led to loss of control and ended up in an inferno involving 55 male adults. As 37 passengers were killed, while 18 were rescued with various degrees of injuries. According to statistics from the Federal Road Safety Corps, a total of 5,769 road crashes occurred from January to July, involving 41,051 persons, resulting in 18,392 injuries and 3,000 deaths. Now, how safe is night travels in Nigeria? What are the woes and travails? And most importantly, what can be done to avert future occurrence of this kind of fatality? On this episode of Nigeria Today, our guests shall be giving answers to some of these questions and others as we discuss the travails of night travels in Nigeria. Welcome to another episode of Nigeria Today, a weekday program that discusses current and trending issues of the day. I am Eucharia Clinton, and thanks for joining us. Now, joining us to discuss the travels of night travels is Sani Ididan Fulani. He's the zonal chairman, Northwest NATO, which is the Nigeria Association of Road Transport Owners. You're welcome to Nigeria Today.
Much. Good to have me.
Also with us in the studio is Olusegun Ogungbemide. He's the Core Public Education Officer, Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC. Thank you so much for coming on the program.
It's a pleasure to be here with you.
Now, I want to start with you, Sadi. Now, talk to us. Even though they've said quite a lot of time that night travel is dangerous, why do many Nigerians still prefer traveling at night, despite the associated risk?
Well, first of all, let me start by sympathizing to the nation for the tragic that has caused so many lives and injuries. I think it is worth mourning all the same. Night travel has been an event that people prefer to undertake, not because it is safe, but maybe because it cuts time, it reduces the time. Instead of spending the time at home, they spend the time in motion, and by the next day they will be arriving their destination. But it doesn't go without its own problems and issues, just like what has happened. I think the populace should be called upon to, as a matter of safety, to desist, because there are so many factors that should make us not to embark on night travel, from the roads to the vehicles to even the drivers or what have you. The situation is not too good for that.
Okay, I asked you that question because as a transport owner, you
Yeah.
probably might know one or two, things why people would generally prefer to go to travel at night. Now, let me come to you, Olusegun. Now, in your sincere opinion, what want to get, why how safe it is for night travel?
Thank you very much. Let me first express the condolences of the Corps Marshal to Nigerians for the great loss, and it is painful, it's pathetic, and it's annoying at the same time, because it could have been avoided, really. When you look at the scenario, we'll be forced to ask, why would you prefer a very difficult situation to drive compared to the daytime that is easier for you to navigate? Night driving in all ramification is not something one should embrace. One, because the vision is mostly impaired when you are driving under the dark, irrespective of the fact that you have your bright headlamp. You cannot still compare it to driving during the day. And also, you can only be sure of yourself at night. You cannot be too sure of other road users. We have situations where we have broken down vehicles at night, at bends that you are not even sure there's a danger ahead. And all these problems all put together has also come to confirm that it's not something we should embrace, because a situation where we even have crashes, the help is not readily available. So the number of victims that will have been saved during the day is actually cannot be compared to the losses that we record when we drive at night and we get involved in crashes. So we don't really encourage night driving in any way.
Now back to you, Sani. Now,
Yes,
I know you've talked about, from what I gathered from what you said, it's not really, too safe to travel. But yet, there are some trips that I know that some persons embark, they just can't afford, traveling at night. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now tell us, what are some of the challenges that you as a transport owner, maybe even you use the road with your vehicles, what are some of the challenges that you've encountered, that you face on the road during these night travels?
Well, okay, as per our training and business mindset, with what we are respecting, that is the Road Transport Safety Standardization Scheme, which is being monitored by the Federal Road Safety. All companies are compelled, all companies with, I think, minimum of 2 vehicles are compelled to abide by the standards. So in that scheme, night travel is banned. For any reason, it is banned. You are not supposed to move in the night. So whenever you see people moving or drivers moving in the night, it is only accepted when they have not reached where to retire on that particular journey, or on the journey they had the vehicle broke down and wouldn't have been fixed at a good time for them to reach where they want to stay for the night. So night travel, as far as transport business and NATO is concerned, is a no-go area.
Now, back to Olusegun, he just said it's banned, and but we still see people, having their trips at night. In fact, embarking late at night. Some as late as 10, some 12 midnight. They just start their journey. So why is this still so? If from what he said, it's banned.
I think the Road Transport Safety Standardization Scheme only encourage and made the organized transport owners to appreciate the dangers of night driving. And Haraji will agree with me that it takes only federal government to take such decision of banning anybody from moving at night. And that's where we were actually handicapped, because Federal Road Safety Corps is not under our purview to ban movements, despite the fact that we know the challenges that are also recorded. And I think that's the abuse that we are having these days, The people know that we don't have the power to ban them, and despite their advocacy, they still decided to travel at night. And it's a great concern to us. You know, few months ago, we started this advocacy and enforcement of mixed loading, where we have people that are loading passengers with animals. And when they realized that the heat was much on them during the day, they decided to be traveling at night. And that's the casualties you are seeing. Because when they travel at night, the task force is not readily available to caution them. And they throw caution to winds. And recklessness, carelessness, and distracted driving is more embedded in night driving than during the day, where we have our operatives all over the places. So I don't think there's any law per se that has empowered us to stop them from moving at night. But as organized transport owners, like Alhaji mentioned, they agreed among themselves that they will not allow their drivers to move at night, which has been the gains we recorded over the months before we started having these challenges of maybe they are not under their purview. Maybe they are not their members, the people that are doing this. Because I know there's a particular organization that I don't want to mention here. In the last 6 years, they have more than 1,000 tankers all over the Federation. They have not recorded a single crash. Why? Most of their vehicles are okay. There are new vehicles being bought. Their drivers are trained and retrained annually. And they have a rule. As long as you are on the road and it's 7 p.m., you have to park wherever you are. So the risk of driving at night and getting involved in crashes is not even there. These are the measures that are put in place as a standard. And that's what their own union have been working with. And it's really working.
All right, we'll take a short break now and listen to some persons, on their thoughts about, night travels, as put together by Thomas Ogbetere. Don't go away.
As for me, I hate night journey because I've lost many people this night journey of it. Even myself, I witnessed it once when I was traveling with my mom on night journey. We were attacked by some guys, some guys coming out from the bush. So this night journey of a thing, I don't like it. I wish everybody would be like me. All the drivers that used to go night journey, they won't make sales.
Because of the weather, you cannot see well. The rescue becomes very, very difficult. Let's take, for instance, what happened in Niger State a few days ago. Had it been happened in the daytime, rescue efforts would have rescued some of the victims.
Driving at night is very dangerous also. A driver might not be seen. The body needs rest no matter what. So a driver might be feeling sleepy at night. What if you jump over something? I don't know for people that like night journey, but as for me, I won't advise night journey at all.
I was once a victim. As a young man, I used to love traveling in the night until this particular incident in 2015. I boarded a Chisco bus car, night bus to Lagos. Between Ilesha and Ibadan, the same bus car swerved off the way and tumbled. Majority of the people that are at the back of the bus were all maimed. Some break ways, some break legs. One died instantly. Many of us were maimed in several ways. It tumbled. And we had to spend about 3 hours looking for a crane to rescue people that were trapped. The driver and the conductor were nowhere to be found. It was a bad incident. For me, I discourage night traveling.
Yeah, I think night travel is not good for it's not good for anybody. So considering all those factors, people should avoid night traveling for now.
Welcome back. In case you're just joining us, this is Nigeria Today, and we're looking at the travels of a night travel. And of course, I have with me here in the studio 2 gentlemen. Now, Sunny, you heard the reaction of people there.
Yeah.
About I want to have your thoughts on some of the issues that you raised there.
Yeah, once you travel by night, you cannot avoid all these things that they have made mention. Accident, poor vision due to weather, and especially in our own case, the roads are mostly bad and easily maneuverable in the daytime. In the nighttime, you cannot easily understand what is in your front. So it's very correct to say that night driving is something that should be stopped.
No, but I haven't heard what you said. Of course, you said that night trip is not for your members, right? That
Yes.
you are making effort to ensure that
Yes,
you curtail, night travel, if
Yeah.
not to stop it entirely.
Yes.
Now, how do your organization
Yes.
ensure the safety of passengers? Well, you said even some of the trips can take you into the night, maybe
Yeah.
because of bad
Yes,
vehicles,
yes.
and it's not like you
Yeah.
intentionally set up to.
Yes,
to that.
yes,
But
yes.
how do you ensure the safety of your passengers? In case you hit the night journey.
Well, most of them are trained. They are trained and retrained. Every year you have to go for training. This sector is very valuable now. It's not like before that it has been taken as if it's just a Agbero business. No, now it's a wholesome investment that you must protect. You must protect the investment and the personnel. You must train them so that they can man what you are doing successfully to be safe and then make profit. So at this moment is all our drivers make sure we train them and retrain them. And where you have motor parks where passengers are being loaded, we go in hand in hand with the road safety at least once a year in motor park to make them aware of the challenges of time. And when it is the ember months, I think it used to be a routine that we go around and enlighten our drivers on such things. So as it is, the training, it's number one, because that training produces safety and safe behavior, safe driving. So at the end of the day, casualties or losses or crashes will be reduced to the minimum. That's
Okay.
what.
Now, Olusegun, as much as you are not, will I say, in support of the night trips,
Yeah.
but then you still cannot stop it, just like you say. So, what are some of the will I say, measures that travelers should be mindful of if they must travel at night?
I will outrightly tell you that I will not want to give any measure because I don't even want to support it in any way. And the fact that Federal Safety Corps as a body has come out to kick against it. So I won't try to massage you by telling you the way out, because we have weighed it. The rate of fatal crashes that were recorded in the recent time occurred at night. July 1st, we lost 26 people in a crash. Yesterday again, 38. So I would like to sit down here to tell Nigerians on how to manage night traveling, because we've weighed it that the mindset of the Corps Marshal now is to dwell on the commuters, to speak out against the misbehavior of their drivers. You can only do that during the day, because at night the passengers that we are pleading with to speak to the drivers are already asleep. Because just like Alhaji said, the essence of traveling at night is to save time. Rather than spending the day to travel, you travel at night, you believe you are going to sleep, and as you are waking up in your destination. Yeah. So you cannot even control or try to pacify the driver to do the right thing. As far as we are concerned, when you find yourself into the night, we have so many organized establishments that have holding bays where they can park and also stay with their passengers. Organized unions, they have it. Yeah. The regulated transport organizations, they have it. Yeah. So when you know you are driving to the night, please look for the nearest holding bay and keep your passengers there. We talk of insecurity. we talk of crashes, we talk of response time, we talk of, ability to be able to save enough lives, because we can't stop crashes from happening, but the ability to save people from getting killed is the essence of response time. So we can't give this to members of the public when we are not available.
Okay.
So as far as I'm concerned, we must do what it takes to avoid night traveling, because the only way you can survive it is for you to keep awake like the driver. And what gave you the impression that the driver too is not tired? Because you can't cheat the nature. Because most time when I sit in a commercial vehicle, I sit behind the driver, and I notice that more than 50% of the drivers too struggle with sleep. You can see them through the inner mirror. They blink repeatedly because they want to keep awake.
Yes.
I now imagine at night when everywhere is dark, we are all asleep. So the driver too can take a nap, and the next thing we go off the road.
So what will be your advice to those group of persons that are so addicted? What I mean addicted,
Yes.
to night travels, because there are people that even if you pay them to travel during the day, they will tell you no. They want to travel at night.
They want to
So
travel.
what will be your advice to this group of individuals?
Well, you have just decided to take a risk, and the only advice I will give you is to make sure you you keep awake throughout, because you cannot even guarantee what can happen, because you can only talk about yourself. I've said it, assuming you are the one driving at night, you are a road user. You are just one out of thousands of other road users. You cannot predict what will happen. So I will only advise, again repeatedly, I can't go against the ethics of my establishment, that we are how to discourage night driving, and I still stand by it. That it's safer for you to travel during the day than getting killed at night. This incident that happened yesterday, if it had happened during the day, from afar, they will have known that there's spillage. But at night, they didn't know that there was spillage all over the places. That man wouldn't have taken the risk of driving 38 people to their death, because he would have seen it from afar. But he only assumed that he could take a gamble, and that's the result of what we saw. So how will I ask people to get involved in that?
So, Sani, what would you say to other drivers that are not part of your group, that are not your members, and that they also...
Well, to other drivers and owners is the situation whereby we must save lives. And in as far as we must save lives, we must avoid night journeys.
Thank you very much. A very big thank you to Olusegun Ogungbemide. He's a core public education officer, FRSC. Thank you so much for your
Thank you
thoughts
very much
and your time. And also we had Sani Ididan Fulani. He's the honored chairman, North Nigeria Association of Road Transport Owners. Thank you very much
Thank
for
you,
your time
yeah,
and your contribution.
Thank you, viewers.
And thank you for
Thank
being
you.
part of the program. Don't forget, Nigeria Today airs every weekday at 7:30 p.m. on NTU News 24. You can also watch a repeat at 10 p.m. tonight, and as well as other episodes on www.youtube.com/NTU News 24 Hub. Once again, thank you for watching. I am your carrier, Clinton. Good night.